and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin. I'm a master's student at the University of Oxford studying history, and in the fall I'll be heading to Yale University for my PhD in history and African American studies. I wanted to take you guys along for this week in my life. I'm going to be studying for the LSAT as well as working on my dissertation. I'm hoping to get a draft to my supervisor by the beginning of June, so I have about 3 weeks to get it done, and so I'm going to be working on that a lot this week. And in addition to all of that, I also have a part-time job riding horses professionally, so I'm going to be heading to the barn in a little while. Liam is here, so we're gonna go get coffee before I head off to work, and then I'm gonna be coming home. I have a call around 3 o'clock, and then I have a bunch of work to do on the LSAT and my dissertation. So that's the plan for the day, and I'm gonna take you guys along for this fun and productive week in my life. I'm back from work. All the horses were really good today. I only had to ride 4, and then I got home and went and picked up some lunch with Liam. So it has been a little while, and now I am about to begin studying for the day. I want to dedicate today to my dissertation, so I'm going to be hopping on a study call with Chloe and working on that for the rest of the evening. And in addition to that, I also had a call with one of the girls that I worked with back when I first started my consulting business, and she has been accepted to her dream university of UC Berkeley. So congratulations to Katie. And I just had a call with her on Google Hangouts, and we're just hanging out as friends. It's really nice to be able to use YouTube as a platform to meet new people and to make connections, especially with like-minded people that may have gone to community college or are making their way up the academic ladder, so to speak. So it's just really fun to connect with her as a friend, and I'm really hoping that we get to hang out some more. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm waiting for Chloe to hop on this call, and then I'm gonna get working on my dissertation. I want to get a chunk of it written today, so I'm gonna keep you guys informed on how that is going. I just really want to get a draft put together and get going. I'm trying to get my dissertation done before July, so that way I have at least a month before I go to Yale in order to kind of get things worked out. So with that all being said, let's go ahead and get to work. Alright, so I've been studying for a little while now, and then I took a break to have dinner with Liam and hang out with Chloe for a little while. So now I'm going to get back to work. I am going to be working on a section of my dissertation, and you guys always asked for me to talk a little bit more about my research, so I wanted to give you a little tidbit on what I'm working on currently. So I am working on the historiography section of my dissertation. My dissertation's broken up into 3 sections, or essentially chapters, but they're really not long enough to be considered chapters. And the section I'm working on now is section 1, which is talking about the secondary literature, or basically what historians have said previously about legal precedents of matrilineal slave laws in English common law as well as in Roman legal precedent. This is something that I've written papers on before, but I'm specifically focusing not just on slave laws in general in the British American colonies, but I'm looking very specifically at matrilineal slave laws, which basically stated that children born of enslaved women would then be enslaved. So I'm looking at the range of arguments from historians, basically across the board, saying that the colonists were looking to Roman legal precedent, or they were looking at property law, or they were looking at chattel law, so basically laws related to livestock and animal husbandry. Ultimately, the law which focuses on chattel or cattle states that the owner of the female who gives birth will then claim ownership of that mother's offspring. So essentially it's very similar to the way that the colonists are thinking about slavery by means of property, which is horrible in and of itself, but it does explain a lot in terms of how they dehumanize African people in Virginia at the time, and how those laws are enacted in order to create a system that controls women's reproductive labor and capacities and the labor of their children, basically creating a new generation of enslaved persons. So that is what I'm working on right now. I'm working on that section. So I'm going back into my notes from my previous terms where I was looking at similar literature and kind of pulling together what information that I have and seeing if there's any other information that I want to go look for. I know that there's not a lot in my previous papers on animal husbandry, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of lit review or literature review on that, but that's what I'm working on right now. I hope that made sense. You guys asked me to talk a little bit more about my research in these videos, so I'm trying to be a little bit more specific and tell you guys all about it. So I'm working on that tonight, and then I am likely going to call it a night early because I have to be on a call for Somerville College at Oxford in the morning at 6 a.m. So I'm still the vice president of the Somerville MCR, so I still have to attend a bunch of the meetings, and most of them happen around 2 o'clock UK time, which for me, unfortunately, is 6 a.m. So I'm gonna have to get up a little bit early and get on calls, but that's okay. I am happy to do it. I get to work with my best friend Ash, who is the MCR president at the moment, and I do like being involved in the meetings of the governing bodies of the college and being able to stand up for students and our needs and the things that we want to see the administration take care of. So I am going to be on that call really early tomorrow morning, but that's all good. I also sent out some emails for my podcast. I have a bunch of different people that I'm set up to interview. I am going to be interviewing one of my previous professors from UCLA. She taught women's history in the US and Latin America and global feminisms, and I'm so excited to have her on the podcast. I think that's going to be a really exciting episode. She went to Harvard for undergrad, and she ended up going to Stanford for her PhD directly out of undergrad. She worked in publishing in London, and then she worked at a state school in Ohio, and then got a tenure track position at UCLA. So she's been a really inspirational figure for me personally. So I think she'll be a really interesting person to hear from on the podcast. So I hope you guys are getting excited for that. That's going to launch on June 2nd. Those episodes are going to be rolling out pretty quickly, and I'm going to have Ash on it. I'm going to have my friend Chloe on it to talk about transferring. I'm going to get a bunch of other people on the podcast. So I have a lot of fun stuff lined up. I'm going to go ahead and get back to work and stop rambling, but I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Good morning, everyone. Today is now Wednesday. It is 5:45 in the morning. I have a call with the governing body at Somerville College at Oxford, and I was asked to attend. So I'm just gonna check my email for the agenda and for the Zoom link, so that way I can go ahead and log in, and then during the call I will likely work on making my plan and taking some notes. So that is my morning, and I'm in desperate need of coffee. I'm so tired. So here we go. All right, so I'm now off of the call. We mostly just discussed what's going to be happening with the remainder of Trinity term and the likelihood that Michaelmas term will not have in-person lectures. And we also just discussed other issues related to the Treasury and the library. I personally asked a question about the hardship fund that has been advertised to students. So it was a good quick meeting. It is now 6:45. I'm gonna go ahead and go change for work and hopefully go find some food because I am in desperate need of a coffee and some breakfast. But I want to kind of bring it back to what you said about collaboration as well. I think that one thing that I found that's really positive about the Oxford system and the college system in particular is that it allows interdisciplinary work. All right, so I'm back from work and I just recorded the episode for my podcast with Ash, and I'm really excited for that one. I think it'll be a really fun episode. And Ash is from Egypt and she's one of my best friends. She studies political science and she's doing her DPhil at Oxford, so that should be up at the beginning of June. I think that'll probably be my second episode, so I'm really glad that we got that recorded. And now I'm feeling really tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and go take a little power nap since I've been up since quite early this morning, and then I'm going to go ahead and come back and get to work. Alright, so I'm done studying for the day. I did a bunch of work on the LSAT. Now I'm going to wrap up for the night and head to bed. I also made my plan for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be focusing more on my dissertation. I've just been kind of flip-flopping between my LSAT prep and the dissertation in order to kind of keep balance. I find it really difficult to do both on days that I'm working because I just don't have enough time. So I use my weekends to juggle between both projects. And one thing that I wanted to address in this video is I actually got a message from a follower asking if I would talk a little bit about mentorship in academia. I did want to touch on it today since I actually been in communication with some of the professors that I worked with at UCLA, and I'm going to be having them on the podcast, which I'm really excited about. The way that I approach kind of finding mentors is largely kind of looking to professors, but also setting up informational interviews with people that I feel really inspired by or that I look up to. I was really diligent about attending office hours and always making sure that there was a purpose to me attending office hours. So I would come in with very specific questions, or I would say, I'm having trouble kind of understanding this, or I'm having trouble grappling between these two viewpoints or this methodology, or whatever it may be. You never want to waste a professor's time. You never want to waste anyone's time, especially if you're looking for them to be a mentor to you. So what you want to do is make sure that you approach them in a way that says that you are looking for their assistance and their advice, but that you are capable and that you are coming to them in a confident manner, and that you're saying, I'm having trouble with this, can you please help explain that to me? Because mentors and academics are oftentimes willing to help you, and they went through the process themselves. And so I think that you just have to kind of figure out a way to communicate with them to where they want to actually help you. I've had such incredible mentors throughout my academic career and my professional athletics career, and I know people have asked me to talk a little bit more about my career pivot from professional riding to academia, but I'm going to make a whole different video on that. But I think that mentors, no matter what field they're in, whether they're a coach in an athletic sport or they're a professor in your class, I think that being able to connect with people that are able to give you advice is incredibly valuable. And the way I would say going about it now, especially now that you can't really interact one-on-one, is to hit them up by email and to ask very specific questions. Say, for example, I was reading Hofstadter and I'm having a little bit of difficulty with this particular argument that he made. There's ways that you can do it so that the email is valuable, and you don't want to just say, oh, like, what's some career advice that you have, or like, how did you get to where you are? Be really specific and ask very specific questions, because they want to help you, but they also don't want you to waste their time, because their time is also valuable. So make sure that you are valuing it. I talk about this with clients that I'm helping with their Oxford applications or graduate school applications who are thinking of reaching out to potential supervisors. You never want to come across as a fan, so to speak. You want to come up as someone that could be their colleague later down the road, somebody that they are really going to respect and that they want to help out. You don't want to seem like someone that they're going to have to pick up off the ground and kind of lift up. Like, you want to come to them and say, I know what I'm doing, I just have this specific question and I'm wondering if you can help me. And I think that coming to them with that versus saying, I don't really know what to do, you need to be very specific when talking to academics and talking to anyone really. I think that that's just a good piece of advice, is when you go to talk to someone that you may have a future connection with, that you are very specific about valuing their time and answering and asking questions that are going to actually give you answers that are going to be helpful. So that's my 2 cents on finding mentors in the academic field and elsewhere, and I hope that that was helpful to you guys. I can touch more on this later on if you guys have very specific questions. So if you guys do have any questions that you guys want me to answer, go ahead and shoot me a DM on Instagram or just comment down below. I do keep track of everything that you guys ask of me, and I try to make sure that I have that included in future videos. Now that I'm done with my rant, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into bed and watch a little bit of Gilmore Girls with Liam and then have a nice night's sleep, since I had to get up so early this morning. I'm very much looking to sleeping in till 7 a.m. tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
All right, guys, hi, welcome to my vlog. We're about to go rob a bank.
Oh my god.
We've been a little low on cash.
Liam, you can't tell them that.
We need
You can't say that. Okay, no. We are going to go get breakfast. It is Thursday morning. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
We watched Gilmore Girls last night, which if you actually watch Gilmore Girls, you will know the episode we saw. It is the one where Rory goes undercover for the Life and Death Brigade retreat, which is like... My voice just cracked. I don't know why. Which is like my favorite episode. What were your thoughts?
I liked it. It was really good. What was my favorite part? I don't know if I had a favorite. I guess like where they jumped off the 6-story building.
7 stories, but yeah.
7-story building. But you know, like I thought when they would hit the ground, the show would be over. But you know.
Oh my god. Yes, but anyway, we're gonna go get breakfast now.
God, my haircut looks so goofy.
And then I'm going to go to work.
Fun.
And Liam is going to hang out at home.
Hey, I work from home.
I know. He works remotely right now. I, on the other hand, have to physically go to the barn because the horses can't come to me.
Yeah, I get to stay inside and work from home and lay in a nice comfy bed. She's not jealous at all.
Not at all.
Hey everyone, so I'm back from work. I rode 2 horses today and then I did some barn chores, and I'm also working on a video project for my boss. So I went and took some clips of the horses around the barn, which you guys would have seen in the last little montage. I wanted to include some of the clips because I was able to use my grandmother's camera. She has a much nicer camera than I have, so I wanted to experiment with it a little bit. And I really like videography. I really like photography. It's just a nice creative outlet for me, and it was just fun to play around with it a little bit today. And now I'm back home. I have showered, I've rested, and now it is time to get to work. I'm gonna put in about an hour on the LSAT, and then I'm going to move on to my dissertation, because as I said yesterday, I have a difficult time focusing on multiple projects in a single day when I don't have very much time to do so. So I'm going to just do some drill questions on logic reasoning just for an hour, and then I'm gonna go ahead and switch gears and work on my dissertation. I want to begin working on one of the sections and begin actually writing, because as I said, I want to get a draft put together. And in other news, I have been working on saving money for my move, and I have been working on my moving budget and all of that. And I wanted to ask you guys whether or not you guys wanted a in-depth video on the moving process in terms of financing and what that's looking like, because as someone who has never had to make a major move across the country, I was unaware of how ridiculously expensive it was. So I've been currently just throwing all of my money into that, but I did promise myself that when I got monetized on YouTube and when I hit 1K subscribers that I would allow myself to upgrade my camera. So I just ordered my new camera. It's not going to be here for a couple weeks, but I just wanted to share that little tidbit with you guys because for me that's a big milestone. It's an expensive purchase, but I think of it as an investment in my channel and an investment in my content, and I want to be able to play around with different types of videos. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know it's just random and kind of thrown in here, but I just wanted to share every little milestone along the way and show you guys how I'm investing in my channel and how I want to improve my videos as well as create content that is helpful for you guys. I have a whole application series coming soon where I'm going to be talking about how I got into UCLA as a transfer student, how I got into Oxford for my master's, and how I got into Yale for my PhD. So stick around for those. Those are coming soon. I have a bunch of other videos that are also in the works. I'm actually working on my content calendar to put together a bunch of different videos that I'm going to be filming and then pre-filming for when I move in August. And we are now 74 days away from me moving to Connecticut. So I am so excited. I have booked my rental car for the drive across the country. That is what's currently in the works, and I just wanted to tell you guys because it's something that I personally am excited about, and I want to be able to share it with you all and tell you guys about what's going on. I don't know, I hope you guys are excited with me. So if you guys have any video suggestions that you want me to put on that content calendar, please let me know in a comment down below because I'd love to hear your ideas. I'm going to be making a study tips video. I have a bunch of other things coming your way, so please let me know what you guys would like to see and what would be helpful to you guys. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get into studying, but I'm sure this video is getting very long, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button because there is a lot of fun content coming your way and a lot of big changes coming to this channel and to my life. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.
He started with hello on a summer afternoon. I lost myself and everybody else when I found you.